up, guys? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the TNT Show, Showcast podcast. If you're watching via YouTube, what's up? If you're watching or listening via, we put up Buzzsprout. Kia ora to you guys as well.
Audio listening people. I encourage others to listen to audio too, because you're less likely to switch off, because you can just listen to it in the background.
Yeah, and you can multitask as well. You can do it while you're doing the dishes or while you're out going for a run. It's easy just to have it there. But if you like watching and looking at our pretty faces, then the YouTube is the way to go.
And you're more than welcome
to enjoy the YouTube video visuals.
If you haven't already, check out the last episode, episode 3, which is up on YouTube now. We touched on a few things that have been going on lately, and now we've turned it into a segment part of the show.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about?
We touched on our personal lives. So I was working at a cleaner, said that I quit. No, had I quit my job? No. I was hopefully going to have a job.
No, you talked about how you got
because I wanted to end it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I talked about how I had a few offers and stuff like that, and I got done for
blowing
numbers on site. And you spoke about
leaving my job, quitting my job, but that being a very good decision for my happiness. And at the moment, my happiness is my main focus. So, everything's going good.
Rocketing.
Yeah, and that was before Christmas, and now it's after Christmas.
Yep.
So,
post-Christmas.
How you been?
Very good. Christmas was good.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Had a pretty good Christmas. Chilled out here, had some food.
It was my first Christmas away from New Zealand.
This was my third Christmas away.
Oh, right.
Second in a row, consecutive. And yeah, it was nice. Christmas for our family is always a little bit different. It's not quite the same.
It's super different. Back in NZ, it's super family orientated.
Yeah, it's a family orientated.
And I suppose everywhere it is, But as we grow older, we want to explore and see parts of the world, and sometimes that does coincide with Christmas time.
With holidays.
Yeah. So I think you win some and you lose some there, but it was cool. Technology these days, you can just
straight up just
video call and
nice birthday. That was funny.
just video call people and it just makes
so you don't feel like you're as far
away as you are.
Far away from home as you are when you can just hit a button. Not even hit a button, hit a piece of glass.
Actually though, yeah. And you just tap in the glass and then all of a sudden they're there. So that was cool. I tried to video call my family on Christmas, but no one was picking up because they were sleeping at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Such a life out of
Big Christmas.
Tired
Tired from opening all them presents.
Oh man. But yeah, so I rang them yesterday, and it was cool to see their face. Actually be able to see their face instead of just talking to them on the phone.
Yeah, talking to them on the phone is good, but then once you get that visual thing, you're like, yo, I can see your reaction. See your smile, you just feel that a little bit better.
It's super different. But Christmas, my first Christmas away was pretty cool.
It was good. Chilled out here, had some food.
Chilled out at the pad, had some food.
Had a swim.
Had a big swim. Spent most of the day in the pool.
Had a couple of drinks. Had a nana nap.
All
crashed out.
Everyone crashed out over here, on these couches and on the ground for a couple of us.
And yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And outside of that though, so I spoke about my cleaning gig that I was doing, FIFO, and fingers crossed, so I still haven't, it hasn't locked itself in yet, but I should be starting a new job. I've already quit my FIFO gig as a cleaner, so that lasted all of 1 month as a cleaner.
Hey bro, but it got you in, right?
Yeah, it got me in, so I've done exactly what, everything's going to plan. The cleaning gig was the doorstep, took the first steps onto the doorstep, and now I'm through the door hopefully with this next job. I got the call straight after doing the last podcast, and that was pretty cool.
That was fun timing.
That was the timing was insane. It was perfect. And cool. No interview involved or anything. It was literally just who you know, because I happened to connect with some guys at the mine who put my name forward for another job at like another mine, and extra 40k a year. Double up on that.
That's dope, bro. That's cool, man.
So that's going good.
Cheers to that, bro. That's
Cheers,
fucking cool.
So yeah, should be got a medical coming up, and that should all kick off after the medical, hopefully.
So from your experience, what do you think you like? So for people that are watching or listening that are thinking about doing that sort of stuff, but aren't quite sure yet, from your experience that you just had, what sort of like pearls of wisdom could you bestow upon the viewers or the listeners?
I think if you're willing to change your lane, change it. Like, don't just. I could have done plumbing again, but I like really wanted to try the FIFO thing, and like the whole FIFO thing like revolves around the money usually. Like everyone talks about the money, but like I knew the money was there, but I took I took a step down from being like a high paid plumber to a lower paid cleaner just to get in the door. Yeah. So I think like that was like a risk in itself, but like just being willing to step down from you're not doing worse if you think it's gonna get you forward. Yeah. Like taking a step forward later on, like there are steps to shit, and you can't always just go like from plumber straight to mine boss or whatever. Yeah. So I think if you want to get into the mines, and like if you don't know anyone or anything, then think about taking like an alternative route in life. Like you don't have to follow that same line, which is what I did. I totally took like a fucking left turn backwards down a back street before coming down, like heading back onto the right track. Yeah. And I think that's what people like should think about doing with their lives if they want to risk. Not risk. It wasn't really a risk. I mean, I still had a job.
You took a pay cut. But, you took a pay cut with the intention of getting in
and hopefully getting a better job, and it just happened to pay off
quickly.
Yeah, like a lot quicker than expected. So. Yeah, for anyone who's like wants to try it, I think like if you have no experience, lie and get a cleaning job. Like it's basic enough, or a utility job. You can get in as a utility. Just talk yourself up and give that a run. Because once you're there, especially around our age, like if you're in like under 30, they're wanting younger people, and like so you meet so many people on site, and so that just like. They're all talking to you as long as you're talking to them.
So you're going to be open to it?
Yeah, you just got to talk and like network and stuff, and then you meet people and you get given a job, cuz. Easy. That's how it works. Life hacks, people.
Life hacks.
Get amongst those.
So, what Tim was just saying, let me summarize. If you want to get forward in life, sometimes you have to take a step back to move forward.
Yep.
Correct?
Like, in basic form, that's what I done, and it works. It does.
And now you're making an extra 40k a year, Fanu.
Add that 40k. Give it.
Looking beautiful. Alright.
How you been, Tom?
I mean, it's cool. Like, I've been, since the last episode, it's only been about maybe a week. Yeah, a couple of days, a week. I mean, we had Christmas. That was cool. It was cool to be able to spend it with you guys instead of being by myself. So, that would have been a dumb Christmas. But yeah, it's... making some plans to move forward for 2018, training hard, been in the gym every day since.
Got that gym in our
apartment complex.
That's a game changer.
Game changer, bro. Like we were talking about it before, we were just saying it's like, man, it's so cool to be able to just wake up and be like, I need to go to the gym, and then realize that you don't have to actually go that far because it's like downstairs.
Straight up, you just walk downstairs and like.
It's a 30-second walk.
You're at the gym, so you can't really excuse yourself from like.
You can't make excuses.
I can't.
Traffic.
Gonna take me 10.
It's too hot. I have to fucking walk in the hot. Bro, fuck that. You know, I mean, it's hot, but we got aircon in the gym.
Yeah. Got a
pool outside. So, yeah, I mean, I've just been enjoying the training, enjoying the eating lots at the moment, which is good.
Heaps of food, yeah.
But yeah, like it's been cool. Just cracked a couple of days work in Fremantle, in Freo, mate.
What's Freo for everyone who doesn't know?
Fremantle's a beach area, it's like a small town. Well, it's not a small town. It's a township right on the water. Really cool beaches around. Lots of hippie surfer people. Super hipster from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I haven't actually delved deep into it, but
built nice this old school area of
just like heaps of cafes and restaurants and bars, and it seems cool. So I'm going to be working at a bar again, taking a step back. I'm just going to be a glassy. So for anyone that doesn't know what that is, it's just, I mean, you see those guys in the clubs that just walk around and pick up glasses. That's going to be me. That's going to be me, but I'm going to get paid cash money. It's going to go straight into my pocket. And it's just, you know, a bit of fun to spend, because it's New Year's on Sunday, New Year's Eve, so it's a good way to spend my, you know, New Year's Eve, just to, you know, mix and mingle with different people, and, you know, have a cunny, bit of a dance, and make some cash money. So.
Suss out the scene.
Yeah, suss out the scene.
Yeah, we haven't really been around there.
Exactly, we haven't really ventured out there. I think we should though.
Okay.
Yeah, should we go for like a coffee or something like that?
Straight up.
That'd be pretty cool, just to see what's good. But yeah, so I've got a couple of cash jobs lined up. I got some money coming in. Not really too fussed about money at the moment, but you know, it's nice to have a little bit extra. And then looking forward to 2018. So at the moment, I'm just, you know, setting some goals and.
It's coming fast.
Yeah, but recalibrating, man. It's like
I haven't even thought about it.
It's 3 days,
it's
man.
a new year.
Yeah, or 4 days. 4 days.
4 days.
4 days, man.
20th, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Twist. I think it's a twist.
Twist.
Yeah.
Pop that shit, Jay.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta pop. Nah.
You sure?
Is it?
Yeah.
Just the grip's sore, guys, from cleaning. You know, when you're all the time.
There you go.
When you're mopping and brooming for 6 hours.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Today's sponsor
is Gates Road Brewery. We're drinking the Albie, a lager. One of the guys in the bottle down the road, he recommended this beer because it's quite popular here in WA, and also that it's a pretty good drop, that he says. That's what he said.
What a good drop.
A good drop.
That's a good drop.
It's a good drop, mate. So it's a good drop. I was saying it tastes like lime red before, but now that I drink more of it, it reminds me of Tui.
Gotta knit your shirt, have a taste of the beer every time, guys. Don't forget that. Let it dribble.
Not my Traveller's shirt, can't do that. Shout out to the Traveller's boys. Keep doing your thing, man. Let's see some more stuff, guys. Actual work. And if you want to send us some free t-shirts, bro, actually, we'll rip.
Come my way.
So yeah, that's what, man. That's how I've been. This, you know, that's what's going on at the moment.
That's the haps at the moment.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good. I mean, nice to have you home for a little bit longer than expected. But
job quitting.
Yeah, bro. But that's cool, you know, and that's life. So,
quit your job, guys, if you feel like it.
I mean, right? No, so, like, to be honest, bro, like, quit your job if you're unhappy. If your job is the reason you're unhappy, then why are you staying in your fucking job? I get that.
Yeah, like what? So many people will sit in a job. I know that it's money, but if you're working and saving right, then you shouldn't like.
You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't be relying on that job. You can take
a couple weeks off, yeah,
and work something out or plan something in advance. Work is the big reason of people sit around being unhappy.
Yeah, I think so too, bro. And I think, you know, like, and I had like a realization when I quit this job here in Perth that's part of the reason for my unhappiness back home in NZ.
Yeah.
Was that, you know, I spoke to my mum about it yesterday, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you've been bouncing around. You haven't really, you know, settled on
yeah."
You know, and I was like, "Yeah, it's just because I haven't done it this way, or you know, things that, and little places that add up to, you know, me not liking it there." But I realized I was like, "Wow, that's, you know, it's funny that it took me all this while to see that actually maybe it's not what I want to be doing, or maybe it's not how I want to be doing it."
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like me and Tim have been talking about, you know, starting a business, and I think from where my expertise or my skill set is in hospitality, and I think it's natural for, I mean, people growing up where we grew up, because it's, you know, that's what you do when you're from a young age. But I think for me, that's what I need to be doing, and that's what I need to be building towards. So that's part of my list of goals for 2018 is, you know, to be moving forward and, you know, aiming towards being a business owner.
Business owner. I want to get there one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my list. It's up there, bro. I'm sick of working for the man. It's not working for the man. It's just, you know, like I know how I want things to be done. I have a vision. I can see it working, and sometimes, you know, you get a little bit blown back, or you get, like somebody kicks you on your ass and says, no, ideas are dumb.
Yeah.
But I think you just got to believe in what you're doing, and if you do really believe in what you're doing, I think it's going to work out anyway, in the long run.
Yeah, well,
Even if it
life's
doesn't.
like that.
Yeah.
Life works out like when you least expect it to, you're just like, oh fuck, pulled through. And if anything, like anytime I feel like down about anything, I always just look back on something like when there's been nights when you're like, fuck, you fucked up with something, you've got to go deal with it the next day, and you just sit there and it eats at you. And I think back on those times and I'm just like, bro, there's been worse times than this. There's literally been worse times. It felt shitter, like. And
it can only get better, right?
Yeah, straight away. Like tomorrow's gonna be a better day.
Actually,
if today was bad, you're just like, oh,
fuck.
It's gonna be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Something's gonna work
If
out.
this is the low, then fuck, I can't wait to see the high.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Life's like that. Oh, let's try to fight that burp. Can't fight those burps.
Come on, bro.
Let it happen naturally.
Stand on the burp.
What else have we?
Bro.
We tried. Or what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that.
So we tried. Tom did first, so I'll let him get in there first with it.
So we tried. Both of us tried it, but Tim got a job offer.
So I wasn't sure.
So he wasn't sure whether or not he should.
Yeah, when my medical and stuff was gonna happen.
Whether or not he should take it or not. So I did it the first time. Oh fuck! We didn't say it. DMT.
DMT. I'm gonna make a little edit for that. So
actually,
on the screen.
we both did like the commercial.
Yeah.
But anyway, we tried. I tried that first out of the two of us.
Dimethyltryptamine.
There we go. Thank you.
Is what it's called.
I was trying
if
to
you
remember
want to Google it, yeah.
And so we tried. We tried it straight after episode 3.
Yep.
Or I tried it straight after episode 3. And man, like me and Tim have been talking about it for a few months now, about trying it, and like hearing people like on Joe Rogan's podcast, they talk about it quite a bit. Just other guys. What's the fucking the gym guy? What's his name? Marcus Aubrey Marcus.
Oh yeah.
He's fully into it, and listening to him talk about it, it piqued my interest early on.
So it's like a it's hard to explain.
It's super hard to explain.
So it's created. I know that like your every organism creates DMT in the inside its body, and humans, we create it at birth and at death are the 2 times in our lives that we produce DMT, and outside of that, like it's not inside us kind of thing. So it creates.
So it's a chemical reaction, right?
Yeah. It's a chemical reaction, and like ayahuasca is like one of the main forms that people were doing it in the Amazon, but that's a real strong form, like 2 to 3 days overnight kind of thing where you're tripping out. And we had a powder form, which is, I think it's made in a lab. Like you can put all the compounds together and make DMT.
And it was crystallized.
So how was your experience?
Man, the experience was, I think it was everything that, from what I've been reading about it and like seeing on YouTube and people talking about it, I think it was everything that, the first time was supposed to be, or, first time experiencing it, people, like their recollections of it, pretty much the same as my recollections. So
yeah.
It was interesting. But yeah, the first time I did it, smoked it out of a pipe, and then I got super buzzed, and then had to lie down. And
kicks in with within maybe a minute max.
Yeah, like a minute.
Kicks in.
Man, it was intense. Like the first feeling is you get, like I felt paralyzed almost. Like I felt like I couldn't move anything. Like I was like trying to put the pipe down on the table in front of me, and I was like, wow, it was a struggle. And then I lay down, I closed my eyes, I decided to embrace whatever was happening to me, and I didn't try to do anything or force it. I just accepted what was coming. And
you're getting a call, bro.
Am I?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not going to answer it. Podcast time, sorry. She can call me back. I think I know who it is too.
Okay.
Anyway, we were talking about.
So you lay down?
I lay down, and man, there was, as soon as I laid down and still, it was insane. Like I closed my eyes and all I could see was, you know, I think of like a kaleidoscope.
How did your body feel though?
Super heavy, bro.
Once you hit it, like that, you know, that buzz feeling that flows through you straight away.
Oh man, it was like I could feel like everything, like all of the, you know, like the blood cells moving through my arteries and my veins and stuff, bro. It was just like, you know, tingling all through there, and I could feel it like going to the ends of my fingers and then coming back down and flowing through the rest of me. And as I was laying there, I was like, wow, this is insane. And then closing my eyes, you just see, like, as I was feeling this, at the same time I was seeing all these visions of bright colors and like that kaleidoscope effect, you know, like where like things are changing all the time. And it was like, if you're familiar with like mandalas, it was like mandalas were, you know, forming and then like forming new ones.
Closing in on
yeah,
each
exactly,
other,
man. It was insane. So I mean, was it like that for you when you first lay down?
The initial kind of buzz, yeah, like with my eyes closed, like that hit the pipe, and like I went to go try and walk from here into the room and with my eyes open, and like before I even put it down, like I was already tripping, like whoa, like I could feel like the warmthness flowing through me.
Yeah.
And then as I was walking to the room, I said how I saw like we had all this washing on the bed earlier, and I walked in and the washing was giving off like its own light. Like I could see the colours blowing up and stuff. That was like the initial buzz.
It's fuzzy thinking back to it
it's
now.
Fucking cool.
So it was a really cool experience. And after, you know, seeing all of the mandalas and, you know, the kaleidoscope effect, and this was with my eyes closed, keep in mind, you know, I started to feel like the energy pulsing through me, like whatever, you know, it was an energy.
Like, I don't know, people would call it chi.
Yeah,
chakra,
yeah, maybe like that. But you know, I was
many a name.
yeah,
really.
there's so many names for it. But I just felt like this energy, and it was buzzing through me. And as it was buzzing through me, I could see like the mandalas were taking form, and the light was going through. And so the light that was making up the mandalas or the forms was the energy that was flowing through me. And how yeah, man, it was trippy. And so like all of that was connected, and and then I was back in my body again, and I felt like, man, what the fuck is going on? I can't move. And so I tried to move my hands, and it was like I started to I moved my hands up to here as I'm lying down, and bro, it was just insane. Like the pulse, like I felt my hands like pulsing, and it was just like going like that. Like, you know, like when you feel like your heart beat like really fast or something like that.
Yeah.
I was feeling that through my hands, and then like I got this, you know, it was like a voice or something that was telling me that just relax, and and then the word fun came, and I was like,
Fun.
I was like, huh? All right. And then so like I started, and like Tim could attest to this as well, because he was telling me afterwards.
I was sober watching.
He was watching me afterwards, and like I was playing with the energy, like all of the shapes that were going, like the visions that I was seeing, I was actually like, you know, I was moving them with my hands, going like this, and like playing with it, like I was actually, like it was real.
Like manipulating.
Yeah, like manipulating it, you know, like so I was going like that, like in my eyes, like the thing was going this way, and then like I'll go like that again, and then it'll go back to this way, and then like I pull it out, and then it get bigger, and then you know, man, I was tripped. Like,
did it feel real?
It felt so real. Like it felt so real. Like I didn't know if it was real or not. You know, like that's how real it was.
Yeah.
I was in it. I was deep. I was like, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I was, so I knew that I was playing with this energy, and it was cool and fun.
Yeah.
And then after the fun part, I kind of had this realization, like as I was playing with it, it was like, and like it was like a voice whispering to me. It was like, everything is connected. You know, and like, you know,
everything as in
everything, just every form of life, like every thing, like was connected. And then I started to feel my surroundings around me, and man, that's when I started to trip out even more. And I was like, put my hands back down, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I was just along for the ride, you know. I was just observing, and I think for the biggest part that I took out of the trip, and I took for maybe another 5 minutes after that, but we'll get into that later after we hear more about Tim's and
Experience.
yeah, the biggest thing for me was that it was reaffirming things that I already knew.
Yeah.
So like things that like like a bit like my mom's pretty spiritual. Shout out to you, Sherry. And she's raised me in a way to be open-minded to everything. And so the things that come along or that I see on Facebook or that the materials that I read through my mom or her friends or friends at school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I take them on, and and if I deem them, if they connect with me or resonate with me, then I will carry those through my life, and everything being connected has been one of those values that I've known.
You already knew.
Yeah.
Nothing had affirmed.
Nah, nothing had been like, oh yeah, okay. Sometimes you say coincidence. That's just
that's a coincidence.
yeah,
right?
that's just and then coincidence happens again, and it happens again, and then sometimes you think it's not coincidence, and then something else that maybe it doesn't go your way, and whatever, that's not part of it. We're not connected.
Yeah.
But that trip was like an affirmation or reaffirmation that everything is connected, and I've known that for a long time. So how was your trip, bro?
Overall though, what do you think?
I'd rate it. I'd highly rate it, but at the same time, I think that you need to go into it open-minded and with the right attitude. You can't be going and
Prepared.
Yeah, you can't be we say this all the time. You've got to be well informed.
Yeah.
You need to know what you're getting yourself into, and I think if you do a little bit of research and then prep yourself outside of it. It's the same thing for me with tattoos. Like I always prep myself before I get tattoos.
Yeah.
Like
So
I'll tell
mental prep.
Yeah, mental prep. It's just like I'll tell my body, this is coming. You're about to get scarred up for life, and then maybe I'll do a meditation before or something like that and say, this is what's going to happen. You can't change anything. All you can do is accept it.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine used to say all the time, let it happen. So you just got to let it happen.
You do though.
Yeah, and so be well informed. But that's my my advice if you're looking to try DMT is to be well informed before you get into it. But overall, I rate it, and I'm probably going to do it again.
Good
soon.
experience.
Probably going to do it again soon.
I'll get on to my one. I'm just gonna reset that camera because that's gonna shut off in about 2 minutes. So stop that one. And we're back in.
So, going on to my DMT experience, it started off good. Like I said, I smoked it. I went to go put the pipe down. As I was heading into the room, it started kicking in, so it takes like 30 seconds to a minute to kick in. And by the time I got into the room, the room was lit, as in the lights, I could see more light than there was. And then on the bed was clothes, and there was normal clothes, as in white, grey, black clothes, and then there was light clothes. And the light clothes were just super lighting up, giving off energy. And in my head, that was I was whoa, buzzing out on those. And I feel that was life telling me yo, colour is personality, it's bright, it's beautiful, look at it. It was giving off more energy than any other kind of clothes that there were. And so it's a real blur for me right now because I ended up doing it twice in a short period of time. But so straight after doing that, I lay down and closed my eyes, and I felt the warmth and everything, and it was just a real. People speak about seeing a female presence and her being real warm and loving and stuff, and that's what I saw or felt when I closed my eyes, was just a female presence of warm and love and acceptance, and I was oh fuck, this is so nice, and saw all this buzzy patterns you said blowing up and closing and all that. And I tried to move my hands because you spoke about it, and I couldn't really do anything. I was fuck.
It's not the same for everyone. It's not the same for everyone.
I literally tried to like move my hands, my eyes closed, and the sun. I was like, oh fuck, I can't do that. What the fuck? Am I not the same?
Fuck you know.
And then from there, like took like a real twist, real fast, and I got like it switched from like that loving female presence to this male who was just super aggressive. Like the bro was hating almost, like not hating, but because like I went into it real stressed and panicked, like because I knew like, okay, you've got your medical on this state, you have to get it done by here just to be sure it's out of your system. And I'd been rushing around all day, and I came home and I was just like, fuck, I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. And so I'd done it, and this presence told me, like, not told me as in with words, but I felt it, like the energy, and it was just like, you shouldn't be here, you're not ready, like you weren't prepared for this, like you don't come back until you're ready. And like I had my eyes closed, so I'm lying on the bed, eyes closed, and this presence was like the chakra lines that we like kind of see, and like it was like fire orangey lines, and they just blew up into this lion who just fully like flew at me, like the shape of a lion, and these like energy lines, and they just flew at me and were telling me this. I don't know how long that lasted, but I came out of it and I was just like, whoa, fuck, like that was negative. Straight away I was like, whoa, that was a bad experience. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like when I think about it, I didn't prep for it properly. Like I wasn't relaxed at all. I was fully just like, yo, get this done, panicking, like, oh, you need to get into the room. The moment I smoked it, like I didn't even try and lie down here or accept it. I was just like, get here, just do it, just to do it.
Yeah. So that goes back to, you know, like I said when like doing my trip, is that you got to be prepared for it, and you've got to be not just prepared, but you have to be ready. And I think being ready is, you know, like it's different for everyone else, but you know, like you said,
I had a rush.
You were rushing everything to, like, during the day. You were worried about everything else that was going on, like outside of the DMT experience. I already had like a mind full of stuff. Like I hadn't relaxed at all and let my mind like take it easy. Yeah. So that was that, and like me being stubborn, I was just like, fuck off, like chilled out for a bit, like sat on it thinking, like, because I felt real negative. I was like, holy fuck, that's right. Was that the same one? What, the first one?
In that same first one, before, when the chakra lines were exploding, before I saw him and between her, I sat in a room.
Yeah, that's right.
I sat so I was in this room, like almost like this, like a room, and I could see these like outlines of like stick people, we'd call them, and these stick people, like they were beings, and I could tell like there was 2 or 3 on that side and 2 over here sitting on these other lined chairs, like they're like chairs, and I tried to look down at myself, but I couldn't really see myself, but I could tell that I was one of those lined beings, and that they were real as well.
Was it a feeling more so than like it was like you felt what was going on around you, and like that feeling affirmed your knowing? Yeah,
like I felt like I knew what I was, and by like with my eyes closed, like this is all in my mind, so I'm seeing this in my mind, and I like felt like, because it just took me there from like loving lady patterns to this room where like the lines are red and these people are sitting there. I'm just calling them people, but I don't know what they were. And I could tell that they were beings. Like I could feel it. Like I knew what I was, and the feeling that the energy that they were giving off, because I could feel energy, like as the energy from the clothes and everything. The energy that was coming from them wasn't the same as the clothes. It was like all the same as that woman who was like super powerful. It was just like that they were beings, and that I was and they were. Like that's the way I felt them. Like I drew a little picture to show Tom, like this is how they looked, like similar to that, and there was 3 of them, and there was 3 of them, and they were just these almost like balloons on a string sitting there, and so I saw them, and then that's when, after them is when I had the little bad trip, and so I was like, fuck, that was bad. Sat on it for a bit, and I was just like, fuck it, you got to go back in and see what was happening. And I was still like ill prepared, hadn't really like thought about it, but I kind of told myself,
Just do it.
Take it easy. Like this time around, like relax a bit more. You weren't that relaxed. And then, so I done it, smoked it. This time I was in the room. So I like sat on the bed and because I had closed my eyes pretty early on after seeing those colours, I was like, oh, this time I might sit on this and, like, to see what I see. And so I sat there, and in the room we have like our mirrors and stuff, and the female presence came back, and I could like see her, like my eyes started seeing energy coming off walls, coming off like off the mirrors, off everything, and all the energy was like coming together and making like the shape of a face, and it was just blue energy just coming off everything, and it came together, and I knew it was her, and like I could just feel that same warmth of like just caring, like of like a mother, of like just this real like it's okay, you're welcome here, caring. And I tried to speak to her, I was like, what do you want? No answer. Like verbal communication means nothing in that sort of like situation. And so like I like buzzed out on that for a bit, and then I was like, someone just said like relax, lie down. So I laid down and I kept my eyes open, and then like that's when it started going bad again. Like I felt her go away, and like I started looking at my hands, and I was telling Tom like just all my insecurities started coming out, like about aging and everything, and like my hands started shrinking and shriveling. Like I watched them age in front of me, like my hands, they literally aged and went really wrinkled, and I started worrying, and like I could feel that male presence back again, and like it was him like just like attacking me, really, like just it felt like an attack. And then at the same time, like I like was looking at it, and he was telling me like stop all of those thoughts, like those negative thoughts. And then from there, like I was just like, yo, I need to stop it. And the moment I accepted that, like it just went boom, back to normal, hands back to normal, and I laid down, and then like just like saw all the colors again. But he was there, and he just said like, you're not ready for this, you need to stop, like don't come back until you're ready, like come back when you're ready. And then I came out of it, and I went and spoke to Tom and told him, but like here's a picture I drew of like, this is what like the energy looked like to me coming off the mirrors and off the walls, like just a full on.
Tim also does commission work, by the way. So
if you want any,
if you want some artwork,
done, like, hit me up. Crayon's my specialty.
Killing that, bro.
Just straight lines. That's my mind's real basic, as you can tell by DMT trips. Just basic straight lines is everything. But yeah, so that was like overall, I'd say that was a bad trip. Like I could see people tripping out and being like, that was negative.
Yeah, but like for you personally.
For me personally, it was a lesson. So I'd like a good lesson, but like bad trip as in like, I'd give it like a fucking on a out of 10 scale. I'd be like, well, that was a 4. Like I didn't really want to do that again. Yeah. But as far as like a lesson goes, I'd give it like a 10 for like telling me like, yo, don't focus on these things. Don't focus on negativity. Don't do things that you're not ready for. Yeah. And like pre-plan stuff and
you know, like I think for like from what I got out of your trip the most was that, you know, like I was saying before, going into it open-minded and prepared and ready. Yeah. But also, you know, like having, you know, because you stuck it out. You didn't go like fucking leave straight away as soon as they bad, like the dude.
I didn't start panicking.
You didn't start panicking and stuff like that.
I need to go.
You relaxed and you accepted what was happening.
Accepted what he was saying.
Yeah, exactly. And you took the lesson. So the lesson was that you need to, you know, stop worrying about things that don't really matter right now, because you know everyone's gonna grow old and they don't really matter. Like, it was a lesson, and I think that it could be a lesson for everyone that, you know, those things that you're insecure about or the things that you worry about a lot probably don't really matter in the big scheme of things.
Yeah, not at all.
And so, you know, to focus your energy on those things, I think is a waste of energy. And, you know, we've got to look forward and look to things that are, you know, trying to move us forward and trying to
put the energy into something else.
Something that you love, something that makes you, you know, get up in the morning, something that you're passionate about or something.
Yeah, like this podcast.
Like exactly. We're finding very, very early on, we've only done 3 episodes and this is the 4th. We're finding very early on that this is something that we are really enjoying, and it's a cool creative outlet to, you know, to get our opinions out there, to talk about things that we are passionate about. Yeah. And
share our experiences. As it is with DMT.
Exactly. And, you know, like, Tim's gonna start doing one on the side, and I'm gonna start doing one on the side as well, separately, so that like if you
so the umbrella's like larger, and we get in like a wider range, and if you want to listen to other things outside of just like us two.
Me and Tim share a lot of interests and passions together, but there's also things that he likes that I'm not really into, and vice versa. Like I'm into some stuff that he's not really into. So to be able to speak on those things away from each other, and then come back and have more experience,
more talks for this, like it'll just be cool.
It's it's something that we're finding very quickly that we're passionate about. So I hope you guys are enjoying what we had to say so far. Let's break it down hard and fast. DMT. Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again. I plan on doing it again when I'm ready, of course.
Would you recommend it to other people?
I'd recommend it definitely. Like if you're searching for like not answers, but if you're exploring like consciousness and stuff, if you're it's not a drug you do like pop an eckie and like let's go out and party. You're not gonna fucking smoke some DMT and go to a party. You do that and you're gonna like blow your brain out. I feel like it's an exploring your mind thing. Like it is. It's exploring more than it is a recreational drug.
Yep.
Yourself.
I plan to do it again soon. We should probably do it together the next time. See what happens. That'll be funny.
Fucking, I'll take your morphine energy.
Bro,
give me the fireball.
But I definitely plan to do it again because I'm interested. I piqued my interest from the first one. I mean, it was only like 10 to 15 minutes
max. It's a short, short lasting drug.
It wasn't long.
You don't gauge time inside it.
No, not at all. You don't.
But it doesn't feel like it's forever, and it doesn't feel like it's short.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Drugs are not cool.
Drugs are not cool. But I think the experience was cool for me because it was, as I said, it was reaffirming things that I already knew, but also, it taught me a lot about, things that maybe I've been overlooking, like you and your insecurities and stuff like that. Yeah. For me, I think it was about control. Like me having control of my situation.
I like that. You had more control than you gathered because you kind of sat on that. Where it was like waiting for you to use it. Kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is in front of you. Use it.
Yeah. So I think it was a lesson in that I'm the one in charge of what's going on in my life, and so I need to take action and do it, and don't be scared, don't be afraid, because though you might not know where you are or where you're going in life, I think this got super deep real fast. Though you may not know where you're going or where you are in life, I think the action or being courageous and just taking the leap and moving forward, I think that's something that you probably will not regret.
Like you won't regret that, when you take that little risk and into the unknown, especially because you're never quite sure when you make moves like that, and then you just they usually pan themselves out and just work out for the better if you hang in there.
That's not exactly. It's not going to happen straight away. It's not going to happen immediately. You've just got to hang in there, as Tim says, and and just stick with it. Play it out for as long as you can play it out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're the one that's making the moves. So
it's your move to make. Don't let other people make moves for you.
Actually, though, make the moves. And in terms of recommending it, I would recommend it. I would say yes, try it, but be warned. Go in the right headspace. Don't take it just to take it. Yeah. Take it for the experience, because it is an experience, and I think you've got to go into it with the right mindset, and you've got to be open-minded enough that like Tim, for example, even if you do end up having a not so good trip, I think you still got to be able to acknowledge what happened, and take ownership of it, and then reflect on it and say, oh yeah, actually no, that was pretty true. The shit, even though I was tripping hard at the time, that was fucking true.
You got me, bro. That was the one. And because that's not always going to be good. That's as with any drugs, you can fucking get pissed and be a wanker the whole night.
The alcohol, man.
Alcohol is worse.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an experience that people who are into Like I wouldn't be like, oh, if you're into meditating or into this only, like then this is the drug for you.
I think for me at this point in time, I think if you're if you're a little bit lost, I think it'd be a good one to take.
Yeah, if you're looking to explore, you're like,
looking for some direction or
what's happening in life? Who am I?
Yeah.
Then like this is the sort of drug you'd take to be like,
I mean,
just have a grasp of like
just to expand your horizons, because I think it definitely expanded. Did it for you? Did it expand?
Yeah, I feel like it opened me up to seeing other beings and stuff.
Yeah, but like I think for me, it opened me up to the idea that the things that I think about or know are actually true and not not airy fairy things, things that people would look at like this silly G
that sounds
I think that it's given me more confidence in who I am and who I know I am, if that makes sense.
I feel like it confirmed the whole not the creation of beings or whatever, but just the whole how we all referred Māoris refer to Mother Earth, then there's the God. They'll say there's a God in the sky, but we always refer to the female, the Earth as being female and loving, and I feel
nurturing.
All of that stuff, that female presence, I feel like I felt that, whatever that is, wherever they got that from,
caring, loving,
all the gods and myths that talk about this female and Mother Earth and Gaia or whatever from Greek mythology, and what's her name, and Japanese, they call her something else. She got locked in the underworld, but that female, I feel like that, I felt that, and that's who I saw. And the male was a bit more aggressive, but he was that could have just been his power. I feel like it just confirmed all that sort of stuff. I see, opened me up to everybody's right, not everybody's exactly. They're not wrong and they're not right. They're just grasping at different things.
Just understanding. There are different points, different stages of understanding, and
it's what we do with everything. We cling on to these things that's me. I'm about this. I'm about that, and then you're just yo, you can let go. You don't have to only be about that in your life with everything.
So I think overall. It's a big thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. Give it a go for anyone who wants to try.
And to be honest, I'm a little bit excited.
Beware.
I'm a little bit excited to try it again.
I'm fucking hyped there. I want to do it again. I'm just gonna sit on it though, because I know what it wants.
When the time's right, I think we'll do it again. But yeah, man, it was a really cool experience.
Any questions about DMT?
Yeah, if you've got any questions, fire them through to us, because we will
message
respond.
Or whatever.
Private message, comment on the video, comment on the post that we post up. Hit us up through our other social media channels like Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested, or if you're on the fence, if you've been thinking about it for a while,
or heard about it and you're not too sure,
and you want to know more, give us a yell, because we have tried it, and I mean we did like it. So, and
before this, I didn't I knew a couple of people who had tried it, but I hadn't really until I got to Perth. I only met 2 or 3 of them who had actually tried it, and then now, but in my own friend group, no one had tried it, and no one back home had tried it. So I think if we've tried it now, so you can talk to us.
Yeah, so you can talk to us about it, and ask us questions if you're on the fence or you're not really sure. Maybe we can give you a little bit of perspective, if it's the right thing for you to do at the time. I don't know.
Just hit us up.
But hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. That's for sure.
And that was DMT, the spirit molecule.
We're going to get more of those things going on. What's next on the agenda, sir?
I can't remember what it's called. What's the
haps?
What's the haps, G?
What's the haps, bro? What's going on current events wise for you, bro?
Current events, just straight off the bat, Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
We went and watched it yesterday.
Oh, bro.
And I didn't rate it that much, to be honest. I'm not fucking balls deep in some Star Wars butthole.
I'm not super into it.
So maybe that's why I didn't. But I've watched them. Yeah. And I liked it. But
you have those people that get tattoos, bro, of Star Wars. The fucking what is it? The fighters and the I don't know what they. I see, like I'm not into like I like Star Wars as a movie franchise, but I'm not big into it where I know the names of the starships.
Like all the yeah, when like, you can name those starships. You're on a fucking like you're out there
like,
on the planet.
I don't know that shit. Like people getting like lightsaber tattoos on there.
Yeah,
and shit like
I'd
that.
get it because it looks like yo lightsaber G.
I get it on my finger.
Oh, bro.
Is that us, G?
There's some fucking lightsaber.
You heard it here first, G. You heard it here first. We're about to get lightsaber tattoos on our finger.
Don't copy that shit. Unless you want to be part of the TNT podcast, you know, get a lightsaber. We'll fucking have some more with you.
That's us.
But yeah,
but the movie
wasn't like, I don't know, the hype for it and all of that. I like maybe it's because they're trying to build on these new characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just like I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, it was like I found it personally, like especially what's the first one that came out with Finn, the black dude, and the new chick Ray. It was not the last one, but the one before that. I think before that. I found it like they do this like the hero's journey, you know, like the
Lord of the Rings shit.
Exactly, man. You know, like they start off where the guy is like, you know, conflicted, doesn't know what he wants to do, and then he leaves the baddies and
then the girl who's like an orphan.
Yeah. And you know, like, and so like you go through this like fucking it feels like fucking ages, but you know, you go through like maybe an hour and a half of them just like trying to find themselves, and it's like, oh, this is boring now.
Yeah, that was boring. Like I was literally just like, fuck, this is dumb. And the worst part, like I was saying, is that like Princess Leia
and Luke Skywalker,
they haven't acted in a movie since the last Star Wars that they were in, which was in like the 80s or 90s.
And their acting is super lame.
Oh, bro, they just haven't been practicing. Like, I reckon they should have just gave them the boots.
Actually, and I feel like Luke Skywalker's accent is way different from the first one to the second one.
I was thinking that when he spoke, I was like, who the fuck is that boy? This bro, what?
When I heard him speak, I was like, I didn't know you had an American accent.
Straight up. I was like, fuck this dude.
Yeah, actually.
But and he just like overacting, like
actually, like
cheesy ass.
Super cheesy, man. Like I feel like for those guys, it's cool to be, you know, to have a connection to those, and I think that's what they needed.
Yeah,
they needed that connection to, you know, the movies of old. But man, it was super tough to watch sometimes. Like watching Princess Leia just looking all solemn, and then like I think that's why she was she was passed out for half the movie, G, because.
Yeah, because she's shit.
Rest in peace. Sorry, Karen. We found R.I.P. The buzzy thing was we were watching the movie and we stayed till the end credits, and then it says in loving memory of Carrie Fisher, and we're like, hey, did she die?
Straight away we're like, hey,
what?
She didn't die in the movie though.
No, she didn't die in the movie. But it was the 1 year anniversary of her passing.
So that was for you.
Weird.
Shut babe.
Shut her. Great work over the last 20 to 30 years.
I think they sidelined you for half that movie because you're a shitter.
Because you suck at acting.
Because that was terrible, and Luke Skywalker straight up was mad.
He was cake too. Like I really like I like the girl. I think she's a really strong actor.
Yeah, I like Finn's pretty good.
Finn's pretty good too. Yeah,
and I like the bad guy. Like
the bad guy is fucking.
The first one he was a bit like I was like a bit iffy, but now I'm just like, yo, you're playing your role better.
Yeah, like you know what's up. Like, and we're not fucking acting experts, but we enjoy movies a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't hate on us if we feel like we're attacking some people. We're just we're talking that shit.
What I did like about it though was like the old school feel about it, like it almost had like it wasn't super CGI, like the boards that they were using. Yeah. Like, did you see that part where the guy was still looking for like those submarine things?
Actually, yeah.
I was thinking like, yo, nowadays like they would have just had some super flash screen thingy that's like hologram, but they still had him looking through that, and I was like, yo, that's those cool things from like the 80s that all the Star Wars people will like grasp. They're like, yo, that's what they're used to seeing, and that's the whole Star Wars vibe, but that. Yeah, that Luke acting, like I know you guys try to keep him for the old school people, but as far as like bringing on the next generation, because
Yoda was good though. Yoda.
Yeah, see Yoda, and like you know how he looked. He didn't look like Yoda.
He didn't look like
from episode 1. Yeah, he looked like the old Yoda,
like the actual
fucking forest where he was found. Like
like he actually looked like a character, not like a hologram or anything like that.
Yeah, not like computer graphics.
Yeah, and that was super cool.
That's what I liked. Like that sort of stuff. I was like, yo, this this is keeping its roots.
Yeah, so that was cool. I mean, like, and all honesty, like for me, the movie was kind of lame. There was like maybe
storyline was cake.
Storyline was cake.
That was the main thing. Was the storyline was cake.
There was like the fight scenes were okay, but I mean the English chicken, she's pretty hot, so I like looking at her.
Yeah, she's nice to watch.
Yeah,
Ray.
so she was nice to watch. Shout out to you. The black dude's pretty funny, so shout out to my brother.
And that Sue Denton looking girl.
Sue Denton, if you're watching this, you look like Rose from Star Wars. What was it, The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi.
You look like Rose from The Last Jedi, so Sue Denton, shout out to you.
If she ever needs like a stunt woman, get amongst her.
Get amongst her.
If she dies, steal that role. She had a major role. Major key.
Major keys, yo. Yeah, bro. Straight away.
Overall, though, Star Wars average as like the hour and a half. If you're gonna go watch it, just skip the first hour.
Yeah,
save yourself some time.
We went in oh man. So we should tell them about the movies here. Like if you're not from Australia, movies here are $10 compared to NZ where it's like $19 or $20. Like
$10.
$10.
Hoyt Cinemas.
Shout out to Hoyt. Any Prezi cards or anything like that you want to send our way? Come here.
Give those gifts away to everyone.
Yo, actually, but you know, like $10 a movie. So I mean, that's cheap. That's really cheap, in my opinion. And just to go see a movie for $10, that's pretty cool. So like,
that's worthwhile. Like that's you're not disappointed.
I think we just made a new fucking segment of the podcast. Bro.
I'm about that.
Yo, sweet.
Movie reviews.
Movie reviews all day. So I think like just going there and it costing $10 blew my mind.
Feel good straight away. You're just like, oh, yep. I can enjoy this.
Actual $10, man. You don't feel bad for like paying $20 to go watch a shit movie like Passengers. If you've seen that, don't watch that.
I haven't seen it.
Don't watch it. You don't need to.
It hasn't happened as well.
Fuck, it's fucking hot. But yeah, new segment, movie reviews.
Movie reviews,
easy, bro.
Any
movies that you recommend?
Any films you want to see? Any films?
Like if you're a super film geek, like hit us up. Like we're keen. We got Netflix. We got the internet.
I've seen bulk fucking films though.
I've seen a lot of films too. One on Christmas Day when we all fell asleep. Howl's Moving Castles, probably one of my favorite movies. Shout out to Charlotte for introducing me to that one. Studio Ghibli. That's fucking cool.
What I saw of it before I crashed out was cool.
But I watched the whole movie, then I fell asleep. So it's fucking cool. Studio Ghibli. But yeah, don't rate The Last Jedi.
Nah, not at all, bro. That was cake.
Cake is.
I'd give it a. What do they do on movies? 5 stars or whatever.
Yeah, is it 5 out of 5?
I think so. I'd give it like a 3A. Not even.
I wouldn't even give it. I'd give it a
2.5A.
Like actually, like the only parts that I liked were the action parts. Looking at the girl. And the Force part was pretty cool when they talked about
like breaking down the Force and how it like
how you're feeling it. It kind of like took me back to my DMT trip, was pretty buzzy.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun. But yeah, Last Jedi. Wait for it to come out on the fucking internet, bro.
Yeah, on the internet.
Yeah.
Wait for that HD on
Wait
1,
for
2,
that
3
HD
movies. Get amongst that one, then don't go pay.
But locker. Bro. Seeing as we're on the topic of movies, I watched Bright last night.
Oh, bro, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another movie.
That's another movie you should...
New out on Netflix.
Bright, Will Smith.
And I forgot his name. He's...
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah.
Joel Edgerton.
He's the dude from...
he's on fucking...
what's the fighting
movie? Is it The Fighter? No, it's the one with Tom Hardy.
Yeah, the one with Tom Hardy. The
Warrior. The Warrior,
that's it. Yeah. So the Warrior, like, Tom Hardy, and it's his brother.
His brother, yeah.
So he's like the bright.
He's the orc.
Main character.
Yeah, he's like the orc.
Is he the main character? They're pretty balanced out, eh?
I think they're quite balanced out, but like I think the thing about the movie that hit me was actually Will Smith was probably one of my favorite actors of all time.
Will Smith is so good.
Like any
even
movie,
though he can be dumb sometimes, at the same time,
you still watch it.
Yeah,
doesn't matter
about Will.
Like as soon as it says Will Smith, I'm watching it, right? And he's the big joker because bro, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is like my childhood.
Oh, yep.
And then Independence Day was like probably the first like M-rated movie I watched ever.
Yeah. Independence Day.
And then every other movie that he's done since then, all the drama ones like Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, that was good.
7 Pound.
I watch all of his shit. What's that one where he done with Margot Robbie and they robbed?
The fucking I can't remember that one either. It's about
tricking, like sleight of hand kind
sleight
of
of
thing.
hand. You know, like being able to influence people without forcing them to do something. And then Hitch. Hitch.
Oh yeah.
You want to learn how to fucking pick up ladies?
Hancock.
Any movie, but anyway, this one was really good. It broke down social differences really, really clearly.
Yeah. So it's about it's about humans. So us, but with us live orcs and
it's in like almost think of like Lord of the Rings kind of
orcs, elves,
landscape. I think that like in in the city, but
not landscape, but like
that whole like there's orcs and fairies
races and stuff like that.
And humans and
except that
magic.
it's based in like downtown LA, and they're still faced with like problems as in like drugs and poverty and shit like that.
But then you got
like
orcs that are the gangsters, and they're portrayed as like the hood people, like people that are bad and like not as well off.
Yeah.
And then you got the elves that are like the rich people,
super wealthy, like they're the 5% of the world or whatever it would be.
And then you got humans in between, and then fairies are like pests.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and it's just like that's like a play on races almost. That's what I got from it anyway. Is that they're like playing around with racism and
like
the way you see it.
Exactly, and I think it's like it'll definitely open your eyes if you're a little bit closed-minded to what's going on at the moment, because I think it's a really big issue, specifically in America, but I think even everywhere that we go, like us
race
being
in general,
this color of skin, I think, bro, would you say that this is going off topic of the movie, but would you say that that growing up you've experienced quite a bit of racism?
I feel like I have, but at the same time, I'm not big on the race card. Like I'm almost just like. It is what
but it is what it is. But like that's us accepting that these people are gonna treat us differently because of this. Do you think that it's important for other people to recognize it as well?
I don't know, like, cause I'm more like if I'm me, then I'm more about me. Whereas like, cause I can see how people can be looked down and frowned upon as a whole, and then people start accepting that like. Yeah. I'm being treated like this because of my color and this and this. Whereas if you hold yourself like just like a normal person and you're willing to argue the point or talk properly with real words, then people don't see they're like, oh okay, I feel like it. Yeah, if you depends how you hold yourself. So I'm not that big on race. But I've felt like racism in general exists. It does exist.
This is what I'm trying to get at is that do you, like for me, like I don't care. Like all my friends are fucking different.
It doesn't
yellow,
care. Whatever.
But the thing that like irks me is when other people treat me differently.
I get it.
Like from first impressions,
straight off the bat.
Like afterwards,
first impressions is always the worst.
First impressions is like is it because I'm because I got lots of tattoos, or is it because I got a beard, or I remember going through Europe and they pulled me up because they thought I was from fucking Eastern Europe or the Middle East or something, because I had this huge beard and I didn't look like a certain.
I feel like that more than racism, I reckon it comes down to stereotypes. Like your profiling on how you fit into a certain group, because anyone who's dressed in a nice suit, you're always going to get spoken to quite nicely no matter where you go. So it just comes down to more than color of skin, more the how you look and your image. They're just people are judge people. Prejudice about it all.
Yeah, because there's certain prejudices that people we can talk about racism or all that sort of stuff, but like you said, I work in hospitality where it's a professional sector where a lot of the venues that I've worked at have been upmarket and their target audiences, suits.
Yeah.
So lawyers and investment bankers and stuff like that. And so I've had to learn to deal with those sorts of people, and I know now how to present myself to those sorts of people. If I'm gonna want to ask for money or something like that, I don't want to ask for money, but if the opportunity presents itself, I know what to do because I've interacted with them long enough. I know what they're about, what they value more, and what is more important to them. As opposed to, not really. So if you walk down the street and say socks and jandals and rugby stubbies and a singlet, people are gonna look at you funny. But if you walk down the street with a friggin' 3-piece on and you know
nice dress shoes, like they
like super shiny.
Everyone straight away looks at you.
They look at you super different, and it's like, but why would you look at me differently when you know, like you can still see my tattoos.
You still like
yeah.
You could earn more than that guy in a 3-piece suit, except for he's just like got to do it for work. Kind of thing.
It's like I don't know, like face value is. It's a
weird thing.
It irks me sometimes because I'm like, I mean, like you look at me, but you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that's what hurts me the most sometimes, and I get hurt about it. But you know, like I feel like, why are you judging me on what I look like?
You're just like, bro, like what the fuck? At least like talk to me first before you.
Like even just say hello, man. Like come on now.
Yeah.
Like don't look at me and be like, oh yeah, I already know that dude. No, you don't.
But then there's racist.
Yeah.
Like I thought that today about fucking what's his name, bro?
Lee.
Our caretaker's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
So he with my bike, he was like, oh yeah, like you should put your bike away. It's gonna get stolen. I was like, it should be alright. And he's like, nah, honestly, man. Yeah. He's like, the Aboriginals will jump that fence and they'll come around and take it. And I was just thinking, like, the fuck, you picked the race? Like you're picking a people that are gonna do. Anyone could jump over that fence and take it.
Don't have to be Aboriginal. Actually.
But he had to like say it like,
say that
even though they are like more likely to jump the fence and take it, like.
And I think that's
people in general. Yeah. It's not a race. It's not a race thing. It's people. Yeah. People judge people.
Yeah.
And people will be people. Like they'll be the ones to come steal the bike.
I think you just gotta.
Dickhead.
Yeah, dick. I think you just gotta be. I think it's a lesson for a lot of people that, you know, when we're talking about DMT, and I think, you know, like, and it applies to many facets of life, that you've got to be open-minded.
With everyone.
Everything, everywhere you go. I think you've got to be a little bit open-minded as to, you know, and have a little bit of empathy, man. You don't know what people go through.
For real.
You don't know what people have done.
I got low empathy levels, but you do have to be nice to people. Like, I'm still nice to people in general.
On the opposite scale.
But I'm more than happy to say no to someone asking me for money on the street.
Like, I will definitely say no. Like,
and don't get angry at me because I'll get angry at you because you have no point to get. You asked me for something. Yeah. You should be happy I even answered.
True that, man.
But Bright is a super,
rate that movie, watch it.
Super good movie. Like just the whole like race card they play on it, and the fact like I'm into fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
so it was just like a real cool.
It was a super cool blend of the two. You know, like it was a cop movie, and then it was a fantasy with like all the magic and the orcs and the elves and shit
and wands and shit, magic wands.
Right. It was like I really like I've read some reviews, man, and I don't get it. Like a lot of reviews, like I read the reviews after you told me to watch it, and they were like kind of bad, like saying like, oh no, this was a dumb movie, blah, blah. But I was like, man, I fucking like
adults. Stop being adults.
I really enjoyed that movie, man.
I'm about that.
I highly recommend.
That's like some like I was a big fan of Harry Potter. That's like Harry Potter meets like end of watch type of shit.
Yeah, true that though.
Like just some like full on cop.
Yeah, man. And like what's that cop movie with Keanu Reeves and Forrest Whitaker, and it's like it's about corrupt cops.
Yeah, I know. It's quite old.
Yeah, super old. But anyway, it's like that. You know, like talks about like corruption and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, like, and not just corruption and.
Like, because it shows corrupt cops too, like and everything.
Corrupt cops, corrupt federal agents,
and then like gangsters who are good, but they had to be corrupt. Yeah. Oh, bro, it's dope.
Yeah, man, it's such a cool.
Grasp a lot, like get a lot out of it. Using the grasp. Keyword of the day from Tim over here.
Grasp.
Grasp it all. Use that in your daily vocabulary.
Amen. But yeah, definitely recommend Bright. Maybe not so much The Last Jedi.
Yeah, no. Movie reviews by TNT.
There we go. About to blow up.
Da-da-da-da.
What's next on the agenda? What is it? We're on What's the Haps? Oh,
What's the Haps, bro?
The other day, I got called a millennial. I don't know what that means.
I had to Google it.
Yeah?
I was just like... I feel like I knew, like, you know, where you have, like, you're like, oh, I'm sure I know, but do I know?
But, like, and I did the same thing. I had to look up what it meant and stuff. And
can we have the shot? I'm, like, really I've been looking at it.
Okay, just, here we go. Sorry, guys.
I'm sitting on it.
This is for the millennials.
For the millennials, before we kick this off.
Just for your reference, Tim had the table suck earlier as well because he knocked it over.
Should always table suck, you know.
Always.
If you spill
If you spill a drink, you better suck.
at least suck a little bit of it, you know.
Off the table, man. Like, pay your respects.
Yeah. R.I.P. to that drink, you know. Just
Actually.
like take some of it in, just so whoever the drink is, you just pay them back. Like, sorry about that.
Sorry, man. Sorry. But anyway, we're going to millennials, and like this lady, she was asking about what I did, and I said, I'm not working at the moment. Where was I? I was at a coffee shop, I think. Is it still going?
Oh, I did stop. Oh, no, it was.
It's still going?
Oh, card's full.
Are you still recording on the
phone?
on my phone? Oh, okay. My phone stopped recording.
Do you
at
want to
like
get your camera?
yeah.
Quickly.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop first.
Stop
I'll
that.
pause it.
And we're back in.
Are we back in?
So we were on.
I was talking about millennials. This lady called me a millennial the other day, and I didn't really quite grasp what she meant. Grasp.
Grass.
Yes,
That's the word of the day.
There you go, word of the day. We should put that in the segments as well. But I didn't quite grasp what she was saying. Like, I didn't really know what she was implying. And the context of the conversation was that I said that I didn't have a job and I was just cruising, like I've moved from New Zealand, but I've travelled quite a bit as well. And she was like, "Oh, you're one of those millennials." I didn't get it.
We was like, okay.
Yeah, it was a bit strange, but it is what it is. So the idea, like from what I've read and what I've seen, is that a millennials, Generation X or whatever they call it, and
Is it X or Y?
I think it's X. That's what somebody said to me.
I think we might be. I don't know. Double check. I know it's one of the others. Y.
Oh, why? There you
So we're
go.
after X.
After X.
Because of the.
X, I think, is that baby boom.
Oh, yeah, the baby boom. Yeah, I get you. So, sorry, correction. Generation Y.
Generation Y.
From like the 1980s through to early 2000s or something like that. But like I think the way that I saw a YouTube video, and I think the way that she was meaning it was that like people in that generation aren't really fussed about a job or going to university or the normal pathways to adulthood that society thinks.
Yeah, I'd call that like the American fucking like
the
ladder that the Americans usually follow of like
you go to school, you finish school, you go to university,
you go to the best college you can.
You go after college, you get the job, and then after the job, you're like
you get a house and a mortgage
and a family
you get a wife and kids and work your ass off for the rest of your life
and that's it.
And die.
But I think what she was trying to get at is that I'm 26 years old, I'm currently unemployed, and I'm okay with it. It's not fucking.
Yeah, it's not like breaking your heart.
No, it's not the end of the world to be honest. And then you see a lot of them going and traveling and working in whatever they need to work in just to have some money so that they can go to the next place. And I think that's what she was trying to get at. My thing with that is do you think of yourself as a millennial? Is it a derogatory term? Do you think?
In that terms, when I think about it, I think I do see myself as a millennial.
Yeah.
Like as far as she's concerned, as like she might look at it as derogatory, but I think nowadays it's becoming more
common.
It's not common, but it's the social norm. Like it's acceptable.
Yeah, to be traveling and
to people are learning that life experience isn't just gained by going to university. Maybe it's not the whole life experience thing. It's just like people are valuing experiences more so than a degree that someone has in front of them. Like even jobs.
And that's nothing against people that go to university and. Yeah, because we respect you guys. We've got lots of friends that have done that, done the time, and done all the stuff that they need to be doing the money. Now they're getting the trees.
Now they're like some of them getting the trees.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but like I think there's treats, yeah. But yeah, I think that now we're like people are realizing that that's like, especially with the digital age coming in, and like podcasts can be a form of income if we get enough listeners. And
Wink.
winky. And like YouTube stars making more money than fucking anyone.
Yeah, they're making more money than, you know, like Hollywood actors, you know? It's like
just the internet has created this whole, like, you don't have to go to uni, you can travel the world and make money and do so.
Did you go to uni?
No, I didn't go to uni. I went and dropped out, tried to go back to school for like an extra year. What's that, 8th form or something?
Year 14.
Yeah, 14. Then got asked to leave because I was just caking it. And then, when I got a plumbing apprenticeship. So I'm not one of the, like, I can't vouch for uni, but as far as, like, I'm not against uni.
Oh, bro, I didn't go to university either. I started working. I probably shouldn't have done 7th form. I should have just gone straight into work. But, you know, hey, life is what it is.
It is life.
Yeah, so you just roll with it.
Especially at that age, like, young people, we want to stay in school to be with our friends.
I mean, it was super social, and I think that's what, you know, like what I missed out maybe on in terms of, you know, university, and maybe it's not the same for everyone, but I feel like I'm the type of person that probably would have made some really good connections if I had gone to university.
Same, but I reckon I'd have some heaps of
I think, you know, like, because we're
friends.
Yeah, because we've got our solid. We've got our set, right?
Yeah.
So we've got our crew, and it's like maybe 10 or 15 of us, and we're all been there through everything. Like, we know each other's fucking darkest secrets.
Yeah, and past the whole.
Yeah, we've passed all that shit.
Past the friend, like just the normal friends.
Yeah, we're pretty much we call each other family, but you know, I feel like I could have added a few more members into the family if I had gone to university.
Same.
Just because I'm that kind of guy, you know, like I want to make friends while I'm there.
What would you have studied?
What would I have studied? Looking back on it at the time, I probably would have gone to do sport and rec at the time.
Yeah.
But with hindsight, I'll probably go and do business.
Yeah, that's a good one, eh? That's something I'd look into, business.
Just because I want, like now, and having the life experience of working in hospitality and doing all these other things and traveling a bit, like I want to own my own business. So having the nuances of
business is a good one just to have, eh?
I think, you know, like just being able, because, you know, like it's, we hate to say it and we hate to believe it, but, you know, like it's the whole world is formed around business as well. Man.
It is.
You know, like
it is just a big business, like that's
like,
how
it's currency, man. Like
we're all working with currency.
You know, like we're all, you know, we're working to get money. And then we get money so we can buy things, and we buy things because they make us happy. Or
which is silly.
They try.
I know people who don't.
Yeah.
That doesn't float their boat.
Yeah.
But
you know, like in general,
like in this society anyway, like the Western society.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, and I think like if I could have it differently, I would. Like I think for me now that I'm 26 years old, I've realised that experience is a lot more important to me. I had someone that really, really close to me taught me that.
I think that's what a millennial like almost is. Like it's an experiencer. So like it's just like another term for someone who hasn't followed the normal route of life, and instead has like chased the experiences
instead of chasing the objects of experiences, the materials of
like that are willing to give up like. Or just break off from the normal, like this is how it all works, and it's just like chasing more the experience and gain. That's the gain that they're getting from life.
And I think that's now that I think of it, I think that's me. So I think I would call myself a millennial because that's, you know, like in terms of what's high on my priority or my value list, I'm valuing experience. Over material things.
Yeah, over like.
I used to be big on fucking
sneakers,
and bro, sneakers was my shit. Like if I had sold all my shoes at the height of my, you know,
sneaker game,
I probably would have come away with like at least 30k.
Wow.
That's
that shoe game.
That's silly though, right? You know, like,
that's.
Now that I think about it now, I'm like, fuck. Why? I mean, like, yeah, cool, but I could have been doing things at a younger age, and then, you know, I think that everything happens in the right time. So, like, but I could have been doing things that I wanted to be doing earlier, you know? Like, I could have been, you know, in fucking Bali for my birthday when I was 20.
Living it up.
Yeah, instead of, you know, accumulating shoes and debt and...
Stacking up that debt.
Silly shit.
Everyone getting out them debt
Come
cards.
on, I'm fucking dead. But you know, I mean, you know, it's all part of life and it's all part of living. And now that I'm here in this now, I realise that, you know, experiences are more important to me than material things, and that's why, you know, I culled off all my shoes. I think I'll try to get my brothers to cull them off as well. But what's going on, guys? I see on Instagram you're wearing them,
boys.
Hey? But that's just what it is, you know. And I think I'm going to accept that millennial term wholeheartedly. I think
it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, and like millennial to me, like especially because when that came about, like the millennium, that was like this big thing, and so like now I think being called a millennial for me, I'm just like, yo, I am the big thing.
I experienced that, and now I'm going through it, and now I'm like
you see me as this person who's meeting like the old world and in the digital world, and I'm not all digital, I'm still a bit old school and want to climb a tree and break my leg to learn, so I'm with those experiences, but I can still jump on the latest piece of technology and like work it, so I feel like we're the bridge between like the next generation and that old one, and that's a real good bridge that the world needs, because like people still want their kids to play outside, but then they want their kids to learn on the iPad as well. Whereas we can do both, and a lot of old people can't. So I think like millennial, that's something you should grasp.
Oh man,
wholeheartedly.
There we go. That's a new. We're gonna have that going through the podcast and showcast. Quite often we're going to do words of the
day.
Yeah, bro.
We might even like pick one beforehand and try and work it.
Let's do that. I think,
especially one that like isn't used as
we don't. I think one like for one something that we can, you know, a new word that we can learn. Yeah. Or like, you know, we use a certain term, but we could say it differently.
And I like use it. Use it different, like something that so we're all learning.
Yeah, exactly.
And you like actually figure out where we can fit it in, because the more we fit it into our vocab throughout,
the more
exactly,
the more natural it'll become, and you know, in conversation with people on Facebook or on YouTube or on
whoever's listening to the podcast, like they'll be like, that's how like that word works. We can work it.
That'd be cool. If you've got any words to suggest, chuck them at us.
Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up, bro. That was a good. How long was that? Good hour and a half.
Yeah, it was an hour and a bit. And the video cut out, so you guys will have video, but you won't have video.
Nah, I don't think we'll have it. I mean, if we can chop some, we'll chop some, but...
we can just throw it up and just have a black clip, because it's about 15...
I think we'll just throw
15 minutes.
Just throw up the audio and see what it says.
Audio first.
But yeah, anyways, guys, once again, thank you for listening.
Thank you very, very much. I am actually very thankful.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool. It's cool for us to be able to sit here and, you know, talk mad shit like we would normally anyway. Like we've been doing since we're 14 years old.
An hour, like just openly.
Yeah, and it's cool because we bounce ideas off each other, and we want to be like, this is the big thing. We really want to get you guys involved. So if you could, please. Just, I mean, like a share, a comment or something.
A comment.
Let us know.
A comment's better. I feel like I'll vibe off, especially if you like.
If you say something
up, like, I thought Bright was shit.
Yeah.
Like, yo, cool.
Yeah.
You fucking listened up to Bright.
Yeah, actually. We want to talk to you, so talk to us, please. Anyway.
Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, wherever you're listening.
Don't drink too much.
On your New Year's, be safe over your New Year.
And have fun.
Keep your beers, you know, don't drink drive because you'll spill your beer and fuck it up.
Table suck.
Yeah, that's one thing you should get from me when you drink. Table suck that shit.
Yeah. And that's us, signing out.
Thank you for listening to the TNT podcast / showcast. You're with
Tom.
Tim.
And Tom.
And Tom.
That's us.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.